Hey church fam, what up? Welcome to the church channel. Welcome to a brand new episode of today's Rhema. And in today's Rhema, we have a newbie. We have a young man who is a final year student at the Bethel Bible College of the Caribbean, Jamaica campus. His name is Denoi Miller. And Denoi is just one of those young men who continues to do greatness for the Lord, who the Lord is using to just do magnificent work. He's a very good preacher. He's a good student of the word, and you can just see ministry exploding in his life. So I'm asking you to just pray him up as the Lord use him to deliver a word for us today. I also want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click the subscription button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thumbs up to you. But I want you, after he's through, and of course you will like the content, go ahead and press the like button, and also leave your feedback in the comment section and share as well, so somebody can be encouraged just as you were encouraged by the word of God from the student of God. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the word of God for us today.
Hello everyone, my name is Denoi Miller, and I'm here to share with you today's Rhema. Today's Rhema comes from Luke chapter 18, from verse 1 to 7. And it read, And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint, saying, There was in a city a judge, which feared not God, neither regard man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, Avenge me of mine adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterwards he said within himself, Do I fear not God, nor regard man? Yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. And the Lord said, Hear what the unjust judge said. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I want to share with you on the theme, the approach to take in prayer. The text before us presents a scenario which Jesus used to illustrate the significance of being persistent in prayer. In verse 1 of the text, it is mentioned that he spake a parable which gives the idea of a fictitious narrative which states that men ought always to pray and not to faint. Right here in the last clause, it speaks of the present infinitive, which refers to the continuous or repeated action, without implying anything about the time of the action. Therefore, the text is calling for action, that as believers we should repeatedly pray. We should repeatedly pray, irrespective of the time that is in season or out of season. We should not stop praying. No matter what happened, we must be in the spirit of prayer. On the other hand, Jesus encouraged his disciples not to faint, which suggests that we should not fail in heart or to be weary, but that we must be in prayer continuously. Andrew Murray in his book says, prayer is oxygen to the believer's life. Just as how we need oxygen to live so that we can survive, so it is we need prayer to live. We must make prayer as natural to us as our regular breathing. However, it was as a result of verse 1, Jesus used the parable to instruct us to be in the spirit of prayer always. This does not mean that we should always be on our knees and have our eyes closed, but we should find time to pray to the Lord. No wonder Paul caught the vision in 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 17 and encouraged the believers to pray without ceasing. Furthermore, verse 1 to 5 of the text gives the parable. Now from verse 2 to 5 tells us that there was in a city a judge. According to the Collins English Dictionary, a judge is a person in a court of law who decides how the law should be applied. However, the scriptures allow us to know that the judge has no reverence for God, who is the supreme being, and since he had no reverence for God, how much more will he have for man? Following this verse, we see where a widow was introduced. And this gives the idea that she does not have a husband. However, this woman needed help from this judge that has no regards for anyone. Verse 3 makes it clear. That the widow came unto him, saying, "Avenge me of mine adversary." This tells me she was representing herself in court. She was low, desperate, and needy. Hence, she has no money to bribe the judge, and her only means for help is the judge. So the widow pleaded that the judge should vindicate her, which is a lawsuit to the enemy. In the Old Testament, there was a warning against mistreatments of widows. Exodus 22 verse 23 says, Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry out unto me, I will surely hear their cry. In addition, verse 4 of the text allows us to know that the judge has seized and put hold on the case. But when he realized how persistent this widow was, he made a decision to help the widow, even though he does not have any fear for God nor himself. Therefore, he declared in verse 5, because she continuously come to him, he will bring her deliverance from the enemy. The Greek word which is used for continual carries the idea of being worn out, which means that the woman had not left the judge until she was worn out. Also, the first clause of the text in verse 6, it states, and the Lord, which is referring to the Supreme Lord, who is in control, or the one in authority. Also, the word here in the second clause means a command for doing something in the future, that of a simple action. This is connected to verse 7, which speaks of what the Lord will do for his elect. Therefore, in continuing with verse 6, the unrighteous judge gives a statement, which is verse 7 of the text, which says, and shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? This gives the understanding that God is not like man. He doesn't ignore his people when we cry to him, even when it seems long. He is just in all his ways. He will save, rescue, and he will bring justice to his people. Despite everything, the woman persevered. And to persevere is to continue in a course of action, even in the face of difficulties or with little or no indication of success. We can look at the text here and we see that this woman was desperately in need of help. And because of that, she did not stop. She continued to go to the judge until the judge decided that he is going to help this woman. My friends, this is what God is saying to us as believers, that we must carry our cares, our troubles, our situation, any circumstances we have. We must continue to bring it to Him, because He's not an unjust God. He's a righteous God. And if a judge can become weary and hear the cry of a woman, imagine the righteous God. We don't have to weary Him, but all we need to do is to continue to bring our cares to Him. My viewers, we're in a pandemic, and we are faced with a lot of challenges and struggles. But I urge you today to continue to pray to the Lord, to continue to pour out your circumstances and your situation to the Lord, for He will come true for you. One may ask the question, how can a person be persistent in prayer in difficult times? Or how can one be in the spirit of prayer? While it is critical for us to remain in the spirit of prayer, God will sometimes put us in some situation that we have no other choice but to seek Him, which is one of the lessons that the text is teaching us. The woman needed deliverance from the enemy, so she sought help from the judge. The woman was also persistent in getting the judge's attention in solving the case. This case was put on hold many times, but she did not just give up on everything. She continued to persevere. And that is what we as Christians need to do. We need to continue to go to God. We may have dreams and desires, and we think that the pandemic is going to cause us to lose our dreams. I'm saying to you, don't let nothing cause you to stop. You must continue to persevere, continue to go to God in prayer. This woman had no one to defend her. She did not have a husband who would protect her. So he had no other choice but to go through the court system to get compensation. Thus, her mindset may have been like Esther. If I perish, I perish, but I must see the king. It is like some of us. We don't have no one to help us, but we are sure of the divine help from our God. That is why I'm saying to us that we need to persevere. We need to push ahead. We need to continue to go to God in prayer. Because if we don't continue to go to God in prayer, and if God does not help us, then we will suffer the consequences. In light of this, as Christians, God will put us in some situation where we have no one else to call but Him. Sometimes the process might be long and we might get weary, but like the widow, we are to push ahead, continue to seek God. We are to set aside some time to spend in prayer daily. Pray to the Lord, cry out to Him. We must lay our burdens to Him in prayer. Although our schedules at times we get so busy, we must continue to find time to cry out to the Lord. In Daniel chapter 6, it is recorded in scriptures that Daniel was favored by the king. And as a result of that, the president and prince conspire against him. They convinced the king to craft a law which he didn't realize was against Daniel. But he make a petition of God, but he make a petition of any god or man for 30 days will be cast into the den of lion. However, Daniel made petition and was cast in the den of lions, but they became his friends. My brothers and sisters, also when Peter was locked up in jail and the church was persistent in prayer, God came to their rescue. I am saying to you today that if you continue to pray to the Lord, you continue to seek his face, you continue to bring your cares and your situation and your circumstances to him, he will come true for you, my friend. God bless you.
Hey guys, so without a doubt, I know the word of God has impacted your life. I know that what was said a while ago was a word that came directly from God for you. So after hearing that word and after your positive response to that word, I want to encourage you, if you have not yet subscribed, just remember, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, share this word with somebody so somebody will be edified just as you were edified by this video. Just click the like button and leave how this word has affected you, how this word has impacted you in the comment section. Guys, thank you for watching. Just go ahead and browse through the channel for other related content. God bless you. Peace.